we start is do a little invocation. And through the invocation, I'll also be using some of that blue magi oil. When I've done this in the past with other classes that we've done, you may feel a torus of energy come around you. You may actually smell the oil. So just keep that in mind, and let's see what happens. Okay, everybody ready to begin? Thumbs up. Awesome. Dear Mother, Father, God, creator of all things, I ask you now to come into this session and intercede with your unconditional love and your wisdom, your guidance in the loving light. I ask all ascended masters of peace and light to join as well, all the archangels, so that we may allow all our egos and personalities to step aside for the greatest good of this session and all who attend. It is our wish to work with you on the divine healing white light, allowing us to be the purest vessels devoted to the service of the children of tomorrow. I'd like you all to take a nice deep breath and release. Another nice deep breath. Totally letting go. And one more. Make this your longest, strongest, deepest breath you've taken all day. And when you're ready, just release it right out the bottom of your feet. And so it is, and so we are, and so it shall be. Thank you. All right, so let's begin. Let me see those wands. Anybody got their wand? Nice. Very cool. Good job. I know some of you had trouble finding sticks. You can use a dowel, plain dowel. You can use sticks from outside. You can use, believe it or not, chopsticks. We just actually had a kids club meeting where they made Harry Potter wands, but they were like spirit wands, and they use chopsticks. So it's really whatever your imagination can think of, you can use. The important part is, just like in the book, when Sir Edward was given the sunspear by Chief Thomas, Lala Kawitha, that it has two crystals on each end. One is your solar crystal, which is the larger crystal, and one is your lunar crystal, which is the smaller crystal. This actually is, if you look at it closely, this is the actual sunspear from the book. And the only thing that's been added to it is a Reiki peace grid that has all the religions and beliefs on it, because we are one, no matter where we come from. And in the back of this peace grid, it says, may the followers of all religions and spiritual paths work together to create peace among all people on earth. Now, really, isn't that exactly what we want? So if I have this sunspear here, this very large point is my solar point, and the small point is the lunar point. You'll have lessons further on down the road where we'll go into deeper use of the wand, but for now, know that we're always using the solar point to our third eye, while the lunar point is at our heart. Now, this is the sunspear, the original sunspear. This is my first wand, and it's absolutely ginormously long, as you can see. So it's really hard for me to take this and put this here at my third eye while this is touching my heart. But the important thing is, when I work with it, I have it in this direction. And if you remember, just this past week, I can't remember if it was Sir Edward or Sir Joseph that asked you to take a crystal and touch it to your third eye. Remember that? you were putting in your personal white light into that crystal to send healing and peace to someone. What is going to be happening once you get into the project page where you're in the physical classroom space with me, Archangel Raphael and I are going to be developing a post that's called The Well of Healing. And once a week, we're going to be asking you to visit that post and deposit or fill that well with your personal white light. And the reason we do this is because, as I'm sure you all know, throughout the days and weeks that we've been together, or even before you step forward, we all need some sort of healing or guidance at times. We've had babies born within this group. We've had a very dear member of our other project group. I think you may remember her, Elaine Prestigiacomo from Florida. She lives in the neighborhood where the schools were attacked. Okay? So when things like that happen, instead of messaging us separately about, can you help us with this healing, what we've developed is this beautiful vessel in the online presence where you come and you deposit your energy into this cyber area. And anytime you need something, whether you've come down with the flu, or you have a parent that's ill, or a child that's ill, whatever you need white light healing for, you'll be allowed to go to that post and post under it saying, please, with your angel code, please help me with X issue. May God's will be done. And you'll be drawing from that same white light that you're depositing into. But what happens with this personal white light, as you're putting it in, it's mixing with the white light from above and your angelic codes, so that it transforms into a very powerful energy with all of you together. So if you can imagine one tiny little flame of light mixed with many flames of light, and the power of that light, we've had healings of all kinds happen on our pages because of this well of light. People coming back from the brink of death, up to and including something like what happened with Elaine again. She was the one that had the blue magi and the burns on her hands. So anything that you need, that's really what the first primary purpose of this wand, this sunspear spirit wand, is for. So the other thing that I may ask at some point is for all of you to get some wintergreen oil, and you'll dab a little bit of wintergreen oil on your third eye, and it will activate even further the light coming through you into the crystal. So ultimately, this wand will actually be used on the love bombing missions. Do you guys, have you been introduced to the love bombing missions on the page? Yeah? Okay. Awesome. And as we go further, we'll tell you different things to do with the wand. For now, all I want on the wand is your basic stick, your feathers tied in the center, and your crystals bound on either end. There may come a time where we add additional crystals down the wand. For example, this one here has some kyanite. It has some tiger's eye, and then just some fairy stones. And it still has the binding. I also have some etchings that I've done in the stone. But for now, I don't want you to do anything else except for what we've asked. And after you get off the call tonight, or when you're finished with your wand, the only other thing I want you to do is at your solar end, which is your bigger crystal, right below wherever your binding is, I want you to write in some fashion or carve an S for solar. And then down at the bottom, you're going to do an L for lunar. So that's the only direction that was not on the video, but you will do that after tonight's session. And anytime we meet, try to have your wand with you. I know that we're meeting with people from all over the world, so the time zones are kind of all mixing together. So Sometimes you won't have it with you. Sometimes we're going to catch people at work. Later on down the road, I'm going to be doing a group class with both of the pages on little travel wands that are like this big. So it'll actually be your partner wand, and it'll hold that same exact energy and intention, and you'll be able to travel with it wherever you want. You can take it on an airplane. It'll be totally safe. So you always have that with you, and actually slide it right in your book, hopefully. So know that this white light healing well will be posted soon, and then we're going to be asking you again to be depositing or filling your energy into that. Does anybody have any questions so far? If you have a question, either put your thumb up or put it in that chat over there. Charlene, do you have sound? I see you said it didn't have sound. Do you have sound now? You do? Okay. All right. Okay. Lady Maritek is going to monitor this for me, because once I start, the channel comes in and all of this tech stuff just doesn't happen. She happened to be on a cruise last week, and I was flying solo and totally forgot to hit the record button. So we had to do a double take. But anyway, please just type your questions over there, and we can get to them as we come along. Now, I did have a question from somebody about the white light. Has everybody finished reading the book? Put your thumb up if you finished reading the book. Okay. Now that you finished reading the book, have you finished reading all the lessons, just reading through any of them? No. Okay. Has anybody gotten to the lesson with the white light? Put your thumb up. Okay, so Johnny? Why isn't this working? There we go. When you get to the lesson with the white light, you may have the question, what's the difference between the white light that's in the book that the Hierophant guided Sir Edward to, and the white light that we talk about in group, or that many, 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 many light workers talk about all the time? The light workers and what we're doing with these crystals, when we touch this to our forehead, we're using our personal white light. Remember, we're co-creators of God, with God. We have the spark of God within us. So that love, that unconditional love that we carry, and what we pull through us from that connection we have to God, is that white light that we're putting in with our pure intentions for healing for whoever, and we're putting that into the crystal. It is not the same as when you read in the book, there's an exercise of drawing down the white light. And that exercise of drawing down the white light comes with a warning or a disclaimer, if I may, that the white light may only be used once on any one person in their lifetime. Has anybody read that? Okay. Can anybody give me your interpretation of that before I tell you what is going on? Does anybody feel comfortable talking? Charlene? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Charlene. Can you do that?
Yes. So, ooh, that's not going to work. I've got you on the phone at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And I'm cheating because Sir Joseph gave me some background on it. So I'll just mute myself so I don't annoy you guys.
Okay. Anybody else?
Charlene, Charlene, if you tell me the number that you're calling in from, I can unmute that so you can talk.
240-83.
Okay. There you go. That's all I needed.
Oh,
there you go.
Beautiful. Thank you. So I was saying that Sir Joseph had answered am I unmuted for sure?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So Sir Joseph had answered a question for me, because I was concerned when Sir Finn Eric was asking for white light. I was waiting and asking, can we do that? Is that okay? But that was because of what I had read in the book.
Okay.
And then it was explained to me that it's different when someone's asking to save their life, as opposed to asking for assistance or healing.
Correct.
So the healing of saving a life versus the healing of something else.
Right. Right. And I'll give you, it's a perfect example. It's usually on a deathbed or with a diagnosis that is fatal. And it's never guaranteed either because it depends on what that person, in the moment that the white light's drawn down, you have a split second of consciousness where you're actually pulled up to the Godhead, and the Godhead asks you, if I extend your existence on this plane, what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to keep on sucking the oxygen off of Mother Earth? Are you going to keep on doing the things you've been doing that aren't serving other people and just self-serving? Or do you pledge to do something with the energy that your life is being extended with? And again, it's instantaneous, split second. Time is stopped for that person until the decision or the choice is made. And then it proceeds forward, and people have been spontaneously healed. I've had people die in my arms. I've died myself. It pulls it down, and you make the decision to go forward. Totally different than saying, you know, my friend Abby, she's got pneumonia and I want to give her some white light. Totally different. Okay. Just helping her clear up that pneumonia. Could be your child that's struggling in school with some bullying or with grades. And let's send them some white light healing to center them and ground them. Totally different than a life-saving situation. So spot on. Thank you. That was perfect. The other thing, it is a little subtle difference with the white light and what we're doing. You can actually ask that white light be drawn down into a crystal. Say you know somebody who really isn't there yet with a life or death situation, but maybe it's been diagnosed with cancer or something very trying, very difficult. So maybe someone who is struggling very deeply with some emotional, psychological issues. You can draw down that white light. You can use the exercise in the book and draw down the white light into a crystal. Typically a clear quartz crystal, because it can be programmed for anything. It doesn't come with any specific use already or specialty, because a lot of crystals obviously have specialties, but clear quartz crystals can be programmed for anything. So you draw it down and you put it into that crystal and you say, hey, here, would you carry this with you? This may help you on your journey, okay? And that will work. I have had, in a Master Studies class in person here at the castle about 5 years ago, a woman who presented with a lump in her breast. She came to the class from the doctor's office. And she said, I got this lump and I never thought in the world that I would have breast cancer. And I never believed in, she's in her 50s. She never believed in having a mammogram, never took the proactive stance. And through the process of the evening, it just so happened to be the night of our white light healing class. Now, how do they do that, right? They do it very well, actually. But I don't question. I just listen. So we asked her, do you want to be the recipient? And what happened in that moment was she was unclear. But yet she did ask for it. But because she wavered in that belief, she went on to struggle very deeply for the next 4 years until she finally succumbed to, not too long ago, 3 weeks ago, she passed away. But that wasn't something that we were responsible for because she owned that. So once you do it, there's no responsibility there. You've given the choice and the free will to the person to accept it or deny it, or accept it and have that choice and that moment in time when they're being weighed for what they're going to do with it. You guys understand that? Okay. Any questions about that? Johnny, question?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What happens if they lose that crystal that you give them?
You can do another one.
All right.
Here's the thing about crystals in general. They kind of have the mind of their own. They're beings. There's energies stored in these crystals already. I've been collecting crystals since I was 3 years old. I've just had this affinity to them. I have to have as many rocks around me as I possibly can. I have no idea why. I just go with it. My bank account doesn't like it, but I go with it. And there used to be a time where I would get so caught up with, this dropped and broke into smithereens, or I lost it. And I would fret and I would fret and I would fret. And then I had one of my teachers long time ago said, those crystals are taking hits for you when they break. And if you lose it, by the way, bless it and let it go to the person who picks it up. Because the energy is just going to be transferred to that person if they need it. It's loving light, and you don't worry about it. So to answer your question one step further, if that person comes to you after you've given the white light in the crystal, and they say, Johnny, man, I lost that crystal. What am I going to do? You're going to say to them, let's say her name is Susie. Susie, take a deep breath. Ask inside, do I need it anymore? And if the answer is yes, give her another one. If the answer is no, that was the reason it left. See, when we do these things, you always have to remember, we're empowering you. We're not here to enable you. You know, Joseph on the page, Cerebro on the page, me in the classroom. Do we see things down the road? Do we know things down the road? Yes. But are we going to give you answers all the time? No. What would that do for you if you don't find your own answers? So I want you to become the teacher and the mentor of the people in your life. That's the whole point of what we're doing. We're not looking for a bunch of sheep to follow us. We're looking for people to walk alongside us, proudly, boldly, knowing that you don't know. And in that you do. And with that, you will do the same for the people in your life. Because you are that proverbial pebble dropping into the still pond of your life. Everyone around you, and I would put this out there for all of you. Answer this question. How many of you already right now have had people say, what's different about you? What have you done differently? Okay? They will notice it. Now, some of them will notice it and be repulsed by it. Some of them will notice it and be drawn to you. So don't take any of that personally, not the good or the bad. Just take it for what it is and be the light you are, doing what you know you need to do, and always check inside in every given day, in every given moment. Am I doing this right? Does this still resonate with me? And when you do that, the answer will come forth. Don't think it, because the brain is the great deceiver. The mind, the spirit, the soul is what you're looking to tap into and allow to be free. The brain and all those thoughts that you've been programmed with since birth that you haven't really totally gotten over or worked through, those are the things that are going to try to talk you out of it, and the ego is going to egg it on. Okay? And then also know that in this process, we're not here to erase your ego. You cannot erase your ego. Your ego is your friend. Just don't let it be your enemy. Okay? We're here to balance your ego or help you balance your ego. just like we're here to balance the world. We are not here to eradicate the darkness. There is no such thing. If we eradicate the darkness, the world's going to be out of balance, just like it's out of balance right now because the darkness is a little bit higher than the positive. So just always keep in mind, when we go forth as light bearers, we're here to shed light on the dark places of the earth that is holding us down, and to bring this world into a balance so we don't wobble out of control. Okay, so, and that's an internal, this world here and that world there. Okay? Does anybody have a question? No, I saw a hand. No? Okay. Let me move this over a little bit. Oh, somebody had to go back to work. I got it. Okay. No apologies.
Lady Kim has her hand raised.
Lady Kim, I don't, where, oh, where's Kim? There she is. Okay, there's Kim. Okay.
Go ahead, Kim.
All right.
Do I have my thing unmuted?
Sorry, I see a gallery view. Do you all see a gallery?
I only see 4 people.
Okay, so what you can do, up in the corner, there's like these little squares. If you click that, you should see more people.
I don't have little squares.
But so while you're looking for that, go ahead, Kim. What are you, what's your
Can
question?
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I didn't know if I had my thing unmuted or not. I joined in 8 minutes late, so I don't know if you covered this before I got here, but I did not put my sunspear together. I have the pieces for it, but you said to let you know, but I didn't let you know until I came to click on for the class.
Okay.
Can you address that for me?
Sure, not a problem. We would have liked it to have been done tonight. You're going to be able to watch this recording over, but we'll go over it again. It needs to be done. I don't know how many of you are moving on because I'm not involved in that part of things yet. But those of you who are moving on into the Google Classroom have to have it done.
It'll be done tonight, yeah.
Okay. So it, again, does not matter that you don't have it done right now. It matters that you're going to get it done.
Okay.
You will need it. Were you here when I talked about the well of healing we're creating? Okay. So one of the big purposes is in the next coming days, Archangel Raphael and I are going to be working on a post on your page that is a well of healing, that each week I'm going to ask you to go once a week and post a picture of yourself holding your wand saying, I've done my weekly fill or deposit of white light healing in the well. And the reason you're doing this is for any time, given time, that anyone in your life, yourself, anyone on the page can go there and request a healing. And you get the connection of the consciousness of this group. Does that make sense for you?
How do I deposit my healing? Exactly what is it? Is it a prayer? Is it?
Okay, so what you'll be doing is you're going to be activating the sunspear. Once you have it together, you're going to be holding the solar crystal to your forehead, and you're going to be bringing out your personal white light, your divine love, into the crystal, and then you're going to take a picture of you holding it, and you're going to post your angel code and say, my weekly deposit or fill of white light has been done. And then may God's will be done. The post will be a little bit clearer with all the different steps that you have to do, but you have to have this done first.
Is there a particular day that we're going to be doing that on?
No, once the post gets made, you have a week to make the deposit, and then just our other group, each one of them have picked a day that's perfect for them. I'm not asking everybody to do it on Monday or a Wednesday or whatever, but everybody picks a day that's good for them, that they remember to go in there and make that deposit.
Okay, thank you.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, are you having any questions with the actual construction of the wand?
Am I supposed to do a crystal on each end or just one crystal on one end?
No, one on each end. And the best kind of crystals, and I saw this, I think it was Lady Tarkus. Is Lady Tarkus here?
I don't think so.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So Lady Tarkus, your crystals that you showed on the page were double terminated. it's going to be a little bit harder. I'm going to go grab a crystal. Hold on for a moment. You want crystals that have a point of some sort, but the bottom you don't want as pointed because it's going to be hard. If I put a double terminated crystal on the stick, it may be hard for that point to connect. You're going to have to wrap it really hard or put a lot of glue on it.
So you don't, because I have both.
Who has both?
I have both, Kim.
Both what?
Both. I have double terminated and not. I have a batch of them.
So basically, the reason why I don't want double terminated for energetic purposes is technically this wand is your double termination.
Got it.
Okay? This is one point, and that's the other point. And the energy through the wand itself is what's going to conduct. You know, your DNA is going through here. Every time you touch it, the oil from your hand, the presence from your aura, it all goes into the stick. And the wood actually absorbs it just as much as your crystals. Okay? So that's really the whole point of the double termination. Like this is the sun spear. If those of you who didn't see it in the very beginning, this is the sun spear from the book that Chief Thomas gave to Sir Edward. And if you look at it, if you can envision, I don't know if I can get it all the way in there. We really don't know because this is really solid. It could be one long crystal. I doubt it. It'd be really cool if it was, but it could be. So in essence, we're really looking at the termination of each end, and we don't want it to terminate here or here. We want it to flow through. It's just the energy of the way the crystals work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay. Did somebody else have a question?
Yeah. Does it make a difference whether it's polished crystal or raw crystal?
It doesn't. I mean, I have most clear quartz crystals. Like this is raw, but it's water clear. I like them to be as water clear as possible. Do you guys? How many people are into crystals or know what I'm talking about? Okay. Is it Tarkus? Is that Tarkus?
Yeah, I don't know very much about them.
Okay. So in essence, can you see this crystal? It looks a little milky, but it's considered clear quartz. It's a little milky, as opposed to this puppy that you can see straight through. Okay, they call them depending on the person you go to get your crystals. Those are called water clear crystals because it actually looks like you can see straight through them. And you're going to find that when you work with these crystals, like I have this ginormous point that's this big that when I first came here, Sir Edward said, go put it outside. And I'm like, really? It's like this crystal. I don't want it outside. But I did. And it was water clear. It's the most amazing crystal. It had rainbows in it. It's really beautiful. And over the years, it took so many hits for us that is cloudy now.
Wow.
But I will tell you this. You can take a cloudy crystal. If you meditate with it long enough, you will clear it.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
In terms of clear quartz, or I have one that's not double terminated, that's aura quartz, and they actually had more, but I didn't know if that's okay because I don't really know what
No,
that
you
is.
really want clear quartz. You don't want any other properties.
Okay.
Because like okay, so like I'm wearing kyanite. I would not want kyanite at the points because kyanite has specific properties, intentions, and purposes that won't align with what we need to do all the time. And the clear quartz, we can program it to do anything. I can give it to you to pass a test. If I put my intention in it, I can give it to you to attract somebody you want to love. I can give it to you for financial matters. Whatever the case may be, we can program clear quartz with any intention. Whereas something else comes already within its matrix an intention or a purpose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So, so
question.
yeah, who's got the question?
This is Janet, A09, New York, NY. My crystals are thick and they're rough. The ones that I have. Can I use them?
Can you post them online so I can see them, please? Can you take a picture of them? I mean,
well, I'm not at a computer right now. I'm talking to you on the phone. I'm listening to you on the phone.
Yeah, you don't have to do it right now, but later on.
Okay, because I had posted one online on the site, so I'll post it again for you when I get in the house. Okay.
Perfect.
Because they're kind of thick, so I don't know, but I'll let you see them. Okay.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Watch the video did Grace post the video of the small tutorial? What's important is I wouldn't use this thick stick with this tiny point. Okay? It's not balanced. I would take a thick stick and use a really thick point that kind of matches it. You're going to balance it. So what's going to happen is, and this is why I wanted you to have the wands with you, but we can't really do it totally right now. But those of you who have your wands, you can do it. Take your stick and your dominant hand, your pointer finger, and try to hold it and balance it just like that. Wherever that balance point is where this string needs to go. Okay? This is why I know this wand is mine and it works for me because I have no problem working with this wand. It's totally balanced for my energy. Now, this one I made, I cannot get it to balance for me. It is insane. It flips, it spins, it does all the kind. This is not my wand. I made it. It doesn't belong to me. Now, the sunspear, I've been working with it for years, so it does balance for me. I'm going to lose it. That's what I want you to do. So that's one of the reasons why I asked you to have them ready, because I don't think I can't remember. So forgive me if my memory is failing here. Did I tell you in the video to put the string right at the balance point? No? Okay. All right. So wherever it is right now, wherever you balance, you put that string. Now the strings, you're going to find that they are something called the bolas. Remember in the book, those of you who read it, when Cerberus used to throw those bolas in the police department? The string with the feathers are going to act. I'm sorry, the puppy dogs. I'm a sucker for animals, so the puppy dogs got my attention there. The string and the feathers are going to act as your energetic bolas when we call for you to use them, and that'll be later on down the road. So does everybody understand that whole concept? Yes? Okay. All right.
Lady Sophia, you have a couple hands raised. Leslie Taylor and Madeline Burton have their hands raised. I want to see if they have questions for you.
Sure. Go ahead.
Leslie, would you like to go?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Is it normal that when you first make your sunspear, that you don't want to put it down? It just feels part of you?
Absolutely. It is part of you. It should bring you great peace and alignment. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I've noticed I have to have it with me.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? There was something interfering.
Since I've made it, I haven't been able to not have it around me. When I first made it, I couldn't put it down. I found it very hard.
Yeah, that's very normal. And as a matter of fact, there'll come a time and place when we tell you to start sleeping with it next to your bedstand. You're going to start.
I've already done it because.
Oh, well, there you go. You're a couple steps ahead of us. That's all good.
Sorry.
It's in the consciousness already, not a problem. And
I just couldn't leave it.
Leslie, we have another young lady from the UK in the other group, Victoria Burton, just had a baby boy. So at some point when we merge together,
Aww.
all the UK people, you guys can, you know, I don't know how far. I mean, I envision the UK being, you know, tiny where you can see each other. So, but yeah, it would be cool to get you two together. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
And who else had a question, Mara?
It's Madeline Barton.
Madeline, where is Madeline? Oh, there you are, Madeline. Okay.
I don't know how to use it. Do you hear me?
Oh, we got you. Good.
You hear me?
Uh-huh.
When I made mine, my puppy broke the end. She lunged at it, and I don't know if it's okay.
Can I see it?
Sure.
Can you hold it up to the, come down a little bit? It looks fine. As long as, you mean, what's broken off of it? Is it the stick or the crystal?
The crystal.
Oh, okay. Take that piece off. And let that piece of the, yeah. It just doesn't want to play. It's okay. Hey, dogs have an infinite amount of wisdom. You'll notice sometimes when we talk, I have a dog here called Spirit Blue that Master Eru actually comes through. Charlene, when you were here, did you see Blue? You saw Blue. Yeah, Blue's amazing. Blue's a healer. She's, matter of fact, she's been in all 4 days of Reiki training. We've been in Reiki intensive this week, and we can't keep her out of the room. She sits at the door and howls unless I let her in. So dogs know what they're doing, so just kind of go with the flow. And also, what that speaks to, Madeline, is what I talked to with Johnny before. If a crystal breaks, don't fret. There's a reason for it. We've had several members. We had a couple people fly in from the other group to do different things here at the castle, and one guy had his wand broken. One of the crystals came off, you know, in the suitcase. So basically, you just put it back on, or ask it, do you still belong there? You'll get an impression. I know this is, for some of you who don't work with crystals, you're going to think, okay, you're crazy, lady. No, it'll tell you. You'll hear the inner guidance will just, the impression will come, or your archangel, whatever you resonate with, will say, yeah, I don't know if that's the right one anymore. Let it go and put a new one in. Or, yeah, I want to hop back in there. So just repair it. One of the best ways to repair it is with hot glue. Don't ever use E6000 or crazy glue. It'll ruin the crystal. It doesn't resonate with the vibration of the crystal, whereas the hot glue holds it in place, but it doesn't invade the surface of the crystal. Best case scenario, you do a wrapping, like in the old days, but I like to use the hot glue to hold it in place. So, any other questions?
Yeah, Aaron actually had one in chat. He said, I thought you said that in the video to place it, and he meant the string with the bolas in the middle.
I did. I said in the middle, and the reason, did you fix it to the point where you can't move it? No. Okay. All right. So all I really wanted everyone to do was to tie it in the middle, and then I was going to help you find this wand's etheric center. And again, I can't play with this one because it doesn't want to play with me, but I'll pick mine up, and this one works, and it lets me balance it right there. That's not the center of this wand. The center of the wand is down here, but right here is where it's the center of my wand and the energetic center of this whole energy system here. See how, I mean, like I'm moving it back and forth, and look at it. It's just like absolutely perfect. Okay.
Amazing.
Now somebody's center may be, I'm going to move it. Somebody's center may be all the way up here. The center is the balance point. And some of you have ginormous crystals. And some of you have really thick sticks. So all good. It's all personality. It's not a problem. But because of that, you have to find the center for that. Does that make sense, Arnold? Okay.
So I want to address something really quickly. Arnold, since your name has changed, one of the things that you'll want to do on your screen, you can click the little 3, if you put your pointer at the top right-hand corner of your picture, you'll get a little dialog box, and one of the things you can do is go in and rename yourself. So if the name that's showing on the screen no longer suits you, the best thing you could do is go in and change it to the name that you would like it to show. And any of you can do that. That's how some of the people on the call have their codes and their Sir whatever name. So you can go in and change that, and like we can do that for you.
Okay, Alexandria, yes, you can use a curved stick. Doc, where's Doc? Where'd he go? I just saw him. Oh, Doc, do you have yours? Or Mara, is yours there? There's Mara's. Oh, I thought Doc's was curved. Okay, so Mara's is curved. Where'd Alexandria go? Do you have your stick? Can I see it? Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. Yeah, this stick, you can't tell because of what I did with it, but actually you might have been able to in the video. This is the one I used in the video. It had this really cool little notch. And so it bent that way and had a notch, and that's where I slid the crystal into. That part doesn't matter. If you're called to it, do it. Also, I've had many people that felt like they were a little lost in the process in the beginning, and once they started using the wand, they've written me and said, can I make another one? And I'm going to say, yes. Do what you're guided to do, okay? This is not anchored in stone or in concrete. You can always change it. And like I said, don't fret if something happens to it. It's not a problem. Make sense? Any other questions about the wand? Okay, so we have about 13 minutes left. So I'm going to open the floor to any other questions. I know that's a big, wide range. Anything about the book, anything about anything that you need any answers to, or do any of you have a message that you want to share? You can just...
I have a question.
Who is that asking?
Christina.
Okay.
Would it be possible to use colored hemp? Or is leather better? I feel weird about using leather.
Yep, not a problem. You can use hemp. I think somebody in the on the page already used colored hemp.
Yeah, I thought so. It was pretty. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
These were just scraps that we had from a club kids gathering, and all of the whenever I have to use anything that's animal based, because I'm an animal lover, I always ask if it's aligned with the purpose of the energy and the spirit. Like for instance, this sunspear, this has leather, and this is buffalo hide wrapped around here. Now I know without a doubt that the chief that put this together blessed this animal in more ways than I could do with the leather that I have here, because he probably killed the animal, he blessed the meat, and he blessed the hide, and he used it for the highest purpose of his life intention, and not just to kill the animal. So everything here we work in synergy with. So whenever there's a doubt, and if you're ever asked to do anything like that and it doesn't resonate with you, you will find another way or another option, or you'll find a way to make the only option work for you. I promise. It's all about looking at it from a different perspective than you came into the game looking at it. Okay? Because like we always say, when you think you know, you don't. And when you know you don't, you do. And what that really means is you're just opening yourself up to put what you came into this situation with aside for a moment and let it be your foundation, and try to broaden your awareness instead of having those horse blinders on and only seeing one way.
Thank you so much, Lady Sophia. I have to go to work. Thank you.
Enjoy your evening.
Lady Charlene has a question for you. She wanted to ask about her, she wasn't at the beginning and she needs guidance on her stick being longer than being able to touch her third eye and her heart.
Okay. All right. Let me see it. Hold it up. Hold it up. Hold it to you. Can you do that? And where does it go down to? That's a really big stick. Okay.
I think that's a staff versus a wand.
Mine is 24 inches, and it's really hard to work with. But it's supposed to be 12 to 24 inches. And only reason is because typically from your third eye to your navel, the hara, the dantian position, between your sacral chakra and your root chakra, typically it's about 24 inches. So if it goes if you put the solar point to your third eye, and if that other crystal goes below your root, I'd say switch it out. Okay? It's gonna be pretty much powerhouse in a different way. Okay.
Lady Sophia, I had one thing that I wanted to just go over with all of them. We didn't do it at the beginning. Tonight's a really good practice for those of you who are going on to do the Google Classroom. When we do class, it's really important that your face is present, because a lot of how Lady Sophia does her work. And so one of the things we practice doing, and you can see I've done it for myself, is making sure that I'm in a place where my face is fully centered in the screen. So those of you who are using a phone, you obviously can't do that. But the other thing I've done, I know this happens sometimes, that somebody will come into the room or you're at work and you have to mute your screen. One of the things I've done is I've uploaded a picture of my archangel, and I'll just show you what happens when I turn off my video. You should see her.
It jumped down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's not a perfect workaround, but if I had to mute myself for a moment, my video, for privacy reasons, there's still a representation of myself there.
Yeah, when I see you, okay, so when you come into the group, energetically, when you enter, you're an individual, and your individual energy is present in the group. When we have group, there's a whole nother relationship, there's a whole nother being, an energy that's created, and it's the one mind of the group. So it's like when you're in a relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. You're a person, the other person is a person, and there's a whole nother life that exists in the relationship between the two individuals. So there's actually 3 individuals in any given relationship, of at least 2. Do you guys understand that? Okay. So the one mind, we all feel you, but when I can see you, I'm getting all kinds of energy readings from you. When I can hear you, now, right now, I see somebody's name and I see 3 telephone receivers. So until those people actually speak, when they speak, I got to read on them. But if they don't speak, I don't get the same read. Do you guys understand that? Okay. I feel them in the group, and I don't know if you guys do or not. I can sense them, but getting a personal connection and being able to assist with anything that's going on is just much better if we can see your face. Now, Christy that talked, as soon as she spoke, there was an immediate connection. I was there with her. Do you understand that? Good. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Kim has a question.
I had to get it out of the room because she wasn't going to stop. So.
Get what out of the room?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, I hope that's okay. That's the only reason I walked away from the screen.
Oh yeah, no worries. No worries. Like Lady Tech said, you can walk away, you can do this and slide your screen. Sometimes we all have to sneeze or whatever. It's okay. Don't worry about that. Do take care of yourself. We're just saying on the long run, it's really good for everybody to make that connection. Eye to eye is perfect. And energetically voice to voice sometimes when you're called on, because there are going to be times where in the classroom space especially, be prepared, because they're going to say, Sophia's going to come through and go, you have to talk. They're saying you have a message for me. And I'm just going to say, Lady Mara, Tech, unmute that person because Archangel Zagzagal has something to say, or Archangel Sakiel has something to say. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah,
and if I can't get that energy read, I'm not going to be able to hear it.
What you were saying about the crystals and having energy, I've experienced that so much because my cat loved to play with my crystals. So they tell me which ones are putting off more energy than others because they can't stay away from them.
Yep. So. We did something today in class. I can't remember what it was, but I actually pulled Spirit Blue into it, and she was like, nope, I'm not getting in on that. The dog, the big shepherd, they totally know. And see, animals don't have the same type of soul that humans do, but spirits work through animals, and angels come through animals, and other, past loved ones can come through animals. So the really tapped in ones, they'll guide and work with you very, very well.
Yeah, I also have a friend who has a pet. She lives at a portal, and she has photographs. She has so many orbs and fairies and so many spirits around her, and she was drawn to this house. And one of her dogs comes up transparent in a lot of the pictures, and this dog is also very tuned in, but you can see right through the dog to what's on the other side. And this dog is also very tuned in spiritually, so it's pretty neat.
It is.
I'd like a couple of those. I will share a couple of those pictures.
Yeah. We had Spirit Blue's always been a really special dog, but there was a ceremony of connection in the Stargate one point, and I turned around and looked at her down one of the sections of the Stargate, and there was this transformation in the dog. It was like some energy went into the dog, and ever since then she's been channeling, if you want to call it, Master Eru. I mean, Master Eru will work in tandem with me and she will not leave the room. So be mindful of your pets. Anybody else have any other questions? We have 2 minutes before we go. Anything burning you have to know, or anything?
Tarkus has her hand raised.
Tarkus. I think she's typing. You can talk it if you want.
You're unmuted, Tarkus.
Oh, sorry. Yes. It's just a technical. I can figure it out maybe later, but I can see a video of myself when I go to the video settings, but I can't see it on the screen, and I don't know if you can see me either.
We can see you. Yeah, we got
you. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. It's
okay. I just don't see it. Okay.
Yeah. Just as an aside, Lady Tarkus, my best friend since first grade is Estonian, and I think it's just amazing because I grew up going to the Estonian house with her.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. I love the synergies. I just stay in awe of everything. As it comes through you, just be so excited when these connections happen and these beautiful miracles that we're presented with. When things come through me, I'm like, wow, thank you. That I was gifted with that opportunity, and always see everything with the eyes of a child, and you'll stay awake. So
thank you.
Any last minute anything anybody want to say? We good? Okay. All right. So what I'd like you all to do is I'm going to use this Blue Magi oil again. Oh, did anybody smell anything when I did that, or see anything when you used the Blue Magi? No? Yes? Yeah? Okay. All right. All right. So take a nice deep breath. And I'm sending this out there to you all. Another nice deep breath. Blessing our circle, each individual, and the consciousness of this group. Keep us sacred, keep us safe, keep us in your divine love. And I thank you now, Mother, Father, God, Creator of all things, for your witness to this session and your intercession. I thank all the ascended masters and archangels for your attendance and your guidance, your love and your light. Please continue to assist us on this journey and help us balance and become the best we can be for the mission of the children of tomorrow. And so it is, and so we are, and so it shall be. Thank you. Amen. Namaste. Aho. Until we meet again, love and light. Bye, everybody.